Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex in Jersey City for today's broadcast of Gothic Knights Softball, the 2016 home opener here on NJCU Gothic Knights on Gothic Vision. A game that's been delayed quite a bit here. It was supposed to be a 3 o'clock start due to class for some of the Lehman players and their late arrival. The contest now will begin at 4:13 p.m. will be the official start time as the Gothic Knights at home for the first time this year taking on the Lightning of Lehman, the first meeting between these teams since April 2009. Give you the lineups in a second. It'll be Charina Graciano who will be leading off, and she'll be facing Jayla Lee Vega. And the first pitch is a called strike. Graciano leads off. Natasha Minier, the catcher, bats second. Linda Resso, the shortstop, hits third. And the pitcher, Yedi Nieves, is the cleanup hitter. The 1-0-1 pitch, swing and a foul ball. Karina Laura, the left fielder, bats fifth with Zaira Galan, the third baseman. Genesis Paulino, the first baseman. Crystal Contreras, the second baseman. And Karen Parra, the right fielder, rounding out the rotation. No balls and 2 strikes. And Jayla Lee Vega deals. It's off the plate. It's going to be a struggle today to get both of these games in. Sundown, as we found out the other day, is 7:15 p.m. And it really goes down quick this time of year. The 1-2 pitch, ground ball foul. Field is in great shape for a mid to late March game. And the grounds crew here at the Garrity Complex, Frank Mulholland and his staff, just did a fantastic job getting this field ready to play. Press box and a brand new vantage point for this season. That's inside, and it's 2-2. We used to be a little bit up the left field line, and you really, when we broadcasted games, couldn't see a good portion of left field. Now, basically can see everything, which is just makes these broadcasts a lot easier to do and allows the girls to watch film. Swing and a miss as Vega strikes out Graciano. The catcher, number 13, Natasha Minier. That is a called strike to Minier. Gothic Knights 7-5. They won their last 4, and all have been convincing. That is high. It's 1-1. A baseball game on Tuesday against Lehman. Lehman won that game in 10 innings, 8-6. But had the Gothic Knights come back and tied that game in 10, they would have stopped there. It would have been a tie because it was just too dark at 7:15. And if this game does not move along at a good pace, we're going to be in grave danger of not getting game 2 in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Vega deals, bounces, and it's 3-1. Around the horn for NJCU, Vega pitching to Hannah Gavin. We're with Brittany Paulkis, last week's NJAC Player of the Week at first base, and Victoria Moyano's at second. The 3-1 pitch is called strike. Brianna Rosario, she's the flex player. She's at short. And Gabby Conte at third. Julie Squew in left. Talia Garcia in center and Jazz Randall in right. The 3-2 pitch is outside. And with 1 out, Minier will draw the walk. And Lehman has a woman aboard for the shortstop, Resto. Shortstop, Linda Resto. So Resto will bat with a player on first. Ground ball to third. Over to second for 1. And they'll settle for the force as a 5-4 putout with Moyano stepping on second. The pitcher, Yedi Nieves. And a good leadoff first base for Resto as Nieves takes strike 1. She's hitting 167 on the year. She will also be the pitcher in today's game. Vega deals. It's a called strike, and it's 0-2. And the 0-2 ground ball slowly hit. Moyano is there. It's actually going to be Polkis taking charge and flipping backwards to Moyano. And she gets there before Nieves, and the inning comes to a close on the 3-4 ground out. First inning for Lehman. No runs, no hits, one left on. NJCU coming up in the bottom of the first. And we're back here in Jersey City for the bottom of the first inning, and we'll give you the offensive lineup today for NJCU. Jazz Randall, the right fielder, will lead off. Gabby Conte, the third baseman, bats second, with Brittany Polkis hitting .529 on the year at first base and batting third. Hannah Gavin catchers, and she's the cleanup hitter, with Jayla Lee Vega, the pitcher, in the fifth spot. Victoria Moyano, the second baseman, hits sixth, having a nice start to her career. Julie Squillo, the left fielder, is hitting seventh, with Christina Otero hitting .550 in about half of the action this year. She's a DP, and she hits eighth, with Talia Garcia, the center fielder, in the ninth spot. Around the lineup defensively for Lehman, it's Nieves thrown to Minier, with Paulino at first, Contreras at second, Resto at short, and Galan at third. Laura plays left, Graciano is the center fielder, Para plays right. Gothic Knights have won their last four, and they've done so in convincing fashion. Playing their first home game of the year. They are 4-0 away, and they're 3-5 on neutral fields, all down in South Carolina. This is our first broadcast since we came to you live from Myrtle Beach. That was our last broadcast on March 11th.
Fielder number 3, Jazz Randall.
So the Gothic Knights will have Jazz Randall come to the plate against the pitcher, Nieves. And that is outside. Randall drops down a bunt, and with her speed, there's no chance. Base hit for Randall.
Now batting the third baseman, number 9, Gabby Conte.
So a bunt single to the catcher for Randall, and that will bring up Gabby Conte, hitting .390 on the season. Popped in the air towards first, coming in and making the catch is Paulino, and Randall back safely. So one pitch and one away.
Now batting the first baseman, number 25, Brittany Polkis.
So Brittany Polkis, who is a threat for an extra base hit every time she steps in, hitting .529. That's a wild pitch. Randall will advance easily. Don't touch the computer. So wild pitch will advance Randall. And That's outside as well, so 2-0. Paulicus, who was the NJAC Player of the Week, the first Gothic Knight to win that in multiple years. The 2-0, that's way off the plate as well. Another wild pitch, and Randall will take third. And on another wild pitch, here comes Randall. So she will score on 3 straight wild pitches. The last one was ball 4. Paulicus will walk, and the Gothic Knights lead 1-0. No RBIs, of course. And we apologize for the feedback. It's a very small press box that we're in, but do our best to bring you the action this year now that we do have a more elevated view and a better vantage point from behind the plate. And that's slapped foul by Hannah Gavin, the catcher from Bordentown, rookie hitting .342 on the year. So Paulicus at first, 1-0 Gothic Knights, swing and a foul tip, and it's 0-2. Gavin will be followed by Jayla Lee Vega and then Victoria Moyeno if both get on. No balls, 2 strikes. 1-0 Gothic Knights. That's in the air, shallow center, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Paulicus heads to second, and a 1-out single by Hannah Gavin. And for Gavin, that is her 14th hit of the year. That is 3rd on the team.
Now batting the pitcher, number 7, Jayla Lee Vega.
Vega, who is 4-1 on the mound to open her Gothic Knight career, the transfer from Fisher College in Massachusetts, making her 6th start of the year. And that gets past the catcher. That's a pass ball. And everybody advances 1 base. So ball 1, 1-0. That's a wild pitch. Paulicus is going to have to stay as the pitcher, Nieves, was able to come home to cover the plate. He's having a lot of trouble right now trying to find the strike zone. So 2 balls and no strikes. One way the Gothic Knights can try to get 2 games in here today would be to win the first one in 5 innings. That is off the plate. Rolls away, but not far enough for Paulicus to advance. However, it's 3-0 to Vega with Moyeno on deck. Three balls, no strikes. And that is high for ball 4, so Vega walks on 4 pitches. And the bases are loaded after the second walk of the inning. A single by Randall. Conte popped out, and then a walk to Paulicus, a single by Gavin, and a walk by Vega. And the bases are full for Victoria Moyeno, freshman out of Hudson Catholic High School. That is off the plate. And I mean, the Gothic Knights, quite frankly, have the ability to wait out walks here, but I think there's a balk called. And everybody advances on a balk. So, a balk will advance Hannah Gavin and Jayla Vega into scoring position. Paulicus scores. It is an earned run. And now, Moyeno, with the Gothic Knights leading 2-0, has a pair of runners in scoring position. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound here with Lehman head coach Donald Gannon. The pitcher still does not understand what she did and why a balk was called. The home plate umpire, Frank Bloschchild, out to have a quick conversation with her and explain exactly what the ruling is. While we wait for that, we'll be right back. You're watching Gothic Knights Softball here on NJCU GothicKnights.com. So Moyano, after the meeting at the mound, slaps off a foul ball. The 0-1 pitch, that's hit in the air. Left center field, that's going to fall in for a base hit. Scoring is Gavin. Vega's right behind her. She'll be held up by head coach Veronica Grant, and it's 3-0 NJCU. So an RBI single to left center.
Julie Squio.
And everything is earned right now. And that will bring up Julie Squio hitting .360 on the season. And a very bright day means I have to wear sunglasses after all. Squio with runners on the corners. Ball in the dirt. There goes Moyano. She'll steal second standing. And now 2 runners in scoring position as the Gothic Knights look to blow this game open right here in the first inning, already leading 3-0. That's high. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. That's high as well. And with Squio with a 3-ball count, the 3-0, that is a called strike. So 3-0. 3-1, I should say. The pitch is on the inside corner, but low. And that is ball 4 to Squia. So she will walk in 5 pitches. And the bases with 1 out are full for the designated player, Christina Otero. Otero has been on a tear lately, quite frankly. She's got the team high in batting average in 7 games, 5 starts, hitting .550. She's played 7 of the 12 games. 11 hits, 9 RBIs, and 8 runs scored, a .522 on base percentage. That's her first pitch ball. That is on the outside corner. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. That's way off the plate. Great job by Minier, the catcher, from preventing a wild pitch. But you can tell right now that the pitcher, Nieves, just does not have it today. Been very, very wild so far, and the catcher, Minier, has done a nice job of keeping her team in the game. The play will be home on the ground ball back to Nieves, who fielded her position well and got the force at the plate for the second out. So credit Otero with the fielder's choice. Everybody on base, Squio and Moyano advances a base, and Vega is out 1-2. So that'll bring up Talia Garcia, the senior center fielder, in the 9 spot. And that gets through the legs of the pitcher, the catcher, and that will, on the pass ball by Minier, allow everyone to advance 1 base. And Moyano scores to make it 4-0. It's unearned as of right now. That's low. So 2 balls and no strikes. So Gabby Conte, the other out in this inning. The Gothic Knights have gotten through the lineup once. Otero and Squio fake a run. And it's 3-0. Three balls and no strikes. The pitch is low for ball 4. Didn't count one of the pitches earlier where there was a, I don't know, somebody had a miscount somewhere on the field, but now it's officially 3-0, and that's ball 4 as well. That's a wild pitch. Squio sprints home, and it's now 5-0. Gothic Knights get a little bit of a break there. So Garcia advances. Otero and Squio both advance on wild pitches. Squeo's run is not earned. However, the previous run by Moyano is now earned. That will bring up Jazz Randall, the right fielder, hitting .348. She singled to lead off the first inning. Her second at bat of the frame. The Gothic Knights leading 5-0. Inside, there goes Garcia. She'll steal second standing. That's a called strike to Randall. These teams meeting for the first time since April 2nd, 2009. NJCU leads this all-time series 18-2. And that's a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. That's popped foul. And it will remain 0-2. Five runs, 3 hits for NJCU here in the bottom of the first. That is behind Randall. Catcher Minier chased Otero back to third. And should be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the umpire says it's 2-2, so it's 2-2, and the 2-2 is off the plate. Now it's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 35 pitches Nieves has thrown in this inning. 22 of the 35 have been balls. The 3-2, and that is swung on a miss on a changeup inside to end the inning. So in the first inning for the Gothic Knights, 5 runs, 3 hits. There were 2 left. It's 5-0 NJCU after 1 inning in Game 1. Back here for the Gothic Knights, and it'll be Laura leading off for Lehman, batting in the top of the second inning. Laura, Galan, and Paulino. Ground ball, foul, up the first base line. One ball, 1 strike. Vega deals. In the air, towards short. And it's going to be bobbled by Rosario. It's going to be an E6. Rosario, who's been playing a pretty good middle infield this year. So an E6 fielding error. And that will bring up the third baseman, Zaira Galan.
Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Zaira Galan.
So that's their first pitch strike. That's high. Throw over to first, and diving in safely is Laura. The 1-1, foul back towards our right. Between innings, we'll give you a panoramic view of the Garrity complex now that we can actually see the entire field from behind home plate with the new position of the press box this year, which was a great benefit to our being able to broadcast these games. That's fouled back right towards us. Last year, I actually had to open the press box door and stick my head out to be able to see down the left field line. We could not see down the line at all. Now you can see everything perfectly. 1 ball, 2 strikes, ground ball to the pitcher. Vega knocks it down, throws to first for out number 1, and Laura moves over to second base. That's a 1-3, and Laura advances to bring up the first baseman, number 16, Genesis Paulino. Paulino, a freshman out of the Bronx, New York, and Morris High School. As you can imagine, Lehman being located in the Bronx, the majority of its roster is Bronx-based. Pitch to Paulino is low. Gotham Lake baseball team in action. They're at Drew University today. Get you an update on that game as we can. Should be somewhere in the early innings of a 3:30 start. That's a wild pitch. However, great job by Hannah Gavin to slide over to her left, block it in front of her, keep it in front of her, and prevent Laura from advancing. Gavin started the year as the guy with Randall actually behind the plate, then Conte was behind the plate, and now Gavin has assumed that position. Called strike. Gavin was a 2-time first-team All-Burlington County selection. 2 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. And Gavin from the same high school as Kyle Kafer, who was the winning pitcher yesterday as the Gotham Lake baseball team beat St. Joe's of Brooklyn 8-4 to improve to 2-0 in the year, did Kyle Kafer. The 2-2 ground ball slowly hit. Moyano's there, and she flips to Paulikis at first base after she took a quick peek over at Laura, and that's out number 2. So 4-3, Laura goes to third. That will bring up the second baseman, Crystal Contreras, from the Bronx, New York, and Jane Addams High School, the number 8 hitter in the lineup and the second baseman today. That's off the plate for ball 1. That's hit through the right side of the infield for a base hit. Randall threw over the first to Paulikis to try to throw out Contreras, but an RBI single, an unearned run, and Lehman's on the board. It's 5-1.
Now batting the right fielder, number 2, Karen Parra.
That will bring up the right fielder, Karen Parra, freshman out of New York City and Manhattan Village Academy High School, looking for our first hit of the year. That's a called strike. The run by Laura unearned as she reached on the leadoff error. That's off the plate. 1-1. Coming into action today, Vega has not been helped out by her defense. In 26.1 innings, she had given up 19 runs, only 9 of which were earned. The 1-1 slowly hit back to Vega, fields it from the circle, flips to Paulikis, and the inning comes to a close. So a 1-3 ground out ends the second, but not before Lehman adds a run, their first of the game. On 1 hit, there was 1 error and 1 left on. It's 5-1 through 1.5. And we're back here, second inning, live from the press box at the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex softball field, not the Marriott. It'll be Conte, Paulicus, and Gavin, the 2-3-4 hitters due up, and the first pitch is a bit outside. Nieves, a sophomore from the Bronx, New York, at a James Monroe High School. The pitcher, she's thrown 37 pitches, now 38, 25 of which have been balls. The 2-0. It's called strike. That was a pitch that Conte probably could have done some damage with. Conte hitting .381 on the season. That is inside. That was just lobbed over. 3-1. Conte, who popped out to the first baseman in the first inning, batting for the second time today. She's got a .794 slugging percentage. Actually, that's Conte. Conte's .415 slugging on the year. But she will walk. This is her third walk of the year. She has the third highest slugging on the year on the team with 7 RBIs. She's scored 10 runs, which is third on the team, and Conte will be on base now for Paulicus, who will try to drive her in. So a 5-pitch walk for Conte. Paulicus, who walked and scored in the first inning. Her bat will wait as the head coach, Donald Gannon, is going to go to his bullpen. It'll be number 24, Megan Bravo, when we come back after this. So after the pitching change, it'll be Bravo into the game. She'll pitch. The previous pitcher, Nieves, now catching. And we had a few other changes here for Lehman. As that one gets away, and advancing is Conte. So Conte advances on the pass ball. Paulicus, that's a strike. The 1-2, and that's hit towards the shortstop. And a nice play there by Resto to retire Paulikis on a tough backhand play, 6-3.
Now batting the catcher, number 2, Hannah Gavin.
Conte has to stay at second there, and he'll bring up the catcher, Hannah Gavin, who singled and scored a run in the first inning. And Gavin hits that one down the left field line for a base hit. Conte will score. Gavin on her way to second, where she'll be standing with a first pitch double. So 1 RBI, as the Gothic Knights now lead 6-1. And it'll bring up Vega, the pitcher, who walked in the first inning. Vega pops in the air, shallow center, coming over and making the catch, Graciano for out number 2. So 2 away, they'll bring up the second baseman, Moyeno, who had an RBI single in the first inning.
Baseman number 1, Victoria Moyeno.
In the dirt, that's ball 1. That is also a called strike. The 1-1 is high. So 2 balls and a strike, and that slapped foul over the head of the new first base coach, Mark Del Volpe. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The new pitcher, as we said, was a late arrival to the game, Megan Bravo, a junior right-hander out of Pearl River, New York, in Rockland County. Gavin at second. The pitch, swing and a miss by Vega, and the inning comes to a close. Moyeno strikes out swinging. Gavin stranded at second, but the Gothic Knights do score 1 on 1 hit, and they leave 1. We played 2. It's 6-1 Gothic Knights. Back here at the Garrity Complex, and a quick panoramic view now that we have a better angle here to do our games. Still have the fence to deal with, but that's for our own protection. And we hope that everyone's able to enjoy the broadcast that we can bring to you from this location this year. We had some defensive changes, by the way. In addition to Bravo that last inning, Nieves, who was the pitcher, is now catching. Galan, who was the first baseman, who was the third baseman, is now at first base. Minier, who was the catcher, is now at third. And Paulino, the first baseman, moved to second. That meant Contreras, the previous second baseman, is out of the game. To lead off the top of the third inning with NJCU leading 6-1, it'll be the center fielder Graciano, who struck out swinging to lead off the game, and she steps to the plate and fouls off the first pitch from Vega. And that's low. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1, and that's fouled off home plate. 1-2. Vega. A 1-2. Swing and a miss. Did she get a foul tip on that? She did, so she'll stay alive, Will Graciano, and we'll do it again at 1-2. Gothic Knights will be off this weekend. Easter coming very early this year. And no NJAC games this weekend, unlike in past seasons. That's low. It's 2-2. Typically, the teams will either have a game on the Friday, Good Friday, or the Saturday of Easter weekend. But NJAC schedule begins next week, and everyone actually has a full weekend off. Ground ball to short. Rosario boots it again. Second error of the game on Rosario. That will bring up the third baseman, Natasha Minier, who walked in the first inning. Gothic Knights have to hope that Rosario can work out her yips there at shortstop. Showing bunt was Minier. That's a called strike. For Rosario, that is her 7th error of the year. Her fielding percentage is lingering around 800. Team fielding percentage is actually not terrible. It's at 926. Throw to second and gone. Great throw by Hannah Gavin, throwing out Graciano as Rosario applied the tag. 2-6 caught stealing. One ball, one strike. Gavin's got an arm on her, that's for sure. Great addition to this team. That's high. It's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. That's called strike 2-2. Best case scenario for the Gothic Knights to try to get 2 games in here today would be to win this first game by the 8-run rule in 5 innings. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Minier down on strikes. Second strikeout, both swinging by Vega. And with 2 away, they'll bring up the shortstop, Resto. Resto, fielder's choice, allowed her to reach in the first inning. And that's chopped towards shortstop, and the 3rd error of the game on Rosario. Each time the ball has been grounded to her, she has been unable to make the play. And the Gothic Knights, their 3rd error, all at short. That will bring up the catcher, Yadi Nieves. Ground ball to third. Conte has it. She throws to first, and the inning comes to a close on the first pitch. So, a couple of errors not helping the Gothic Knight cause, but Conte and a strikeout able to end it along with a great throw at catcher by Hannah Gavin to retire the base stealer. 3rd inning for Lehman, no runs, no hits. There were 2 errors, 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 3rd, 6-1 NJCU. Bottom of the third inning, it'll be Julie Squio leading it off for the Gothic Knights with a 5-run margin. Squio, Otero, Garcia, the 7, 8, 9 hitters, and Squio walked and later scored a run in the first inning. That's high. Squio pops that one off to our right. 1 ball and 1 strike on the foul ball. Hitting the air to right field. Para over her head. And the bounce against the basing of the wall. Squio around second, on her way to third. The throw is going to be not in time, and Squio slides in with a leadoff triple.
Now batting the designated player, number 22, Christina Otero.
So Squio gets on with the leadoff triple, her first extra base hit of the year, and her 10th hit overall. And that will bring up Christina Otero, who reached on a fielder's choice, and slaps that one through the right side of the drawn-in infield as Squio scores to make it a 7-1 lead. RBI single by Otero on the first pitch she sees. The second baseman, Paulino, was in a little bit, anticipating a potential play at the plate. That will bring up Talia Garcia, the Gothic Knights center fielder. That's popped in the air foul, giving chase and reaching up, but it's out of play, was Nieves, the catcher. Garcia walked in the first inning when the Gothic Knights sent 10 batters to the plate. One ball, no balls and 1 strike. However, doesn't matter as Otero will move to second. Garcia to first as she's hit by a pitch. And the Gothic Knights have 2 runners aboard. Garcia, with her 3rd hit by pitch of the season, she has half of NJCU's hit by pitches. Randall steps to the plate. She shows a bunt and fouls it off towards the on-deck circle. Randall, 1 for 2 today with an RBI single in the first inning, and she also struck out swinging in her second at-bat of the first inning. 7 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for NJCU, 1 run, 1 hit for Lehman. And I think that caught Randall on a bounce, hit her in the left. I think it hit her in the shin, actually. And she'll run down quickly. Maybe a run walk down to first base after the back-to-back hit by pitches. And the bases are loaded with nobody out for Gabby Conte, who is 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored with Brittany Polikis on deck. That's in the air, foul down the right field line, and it's going to fall untouched as Para, the right fielder, gave it a chase. Conte today is 0 for 1. She also walked and scored a run. She has 7 RBIs on the year. The 0-1. Good bunt by Conte. The flip to the mound will not be in time, so she'll go to first instead. And Conte is out there. 1-4. So an RBI drives in Otero and makes it 8-1.
First baseman number 25, Brittany Polikis.
So credit Conte with a 1-4 sacrifice bunt and an RBI. And that brings up Brittany Polikis, Gothic Knight first baseman. Looks at ball 1. She's hitting .514 now. 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored. Polikis with 14 RBIs on the year. That's low. Throw to first, trying to get Talia off the bag. And it gets away from the third baseman Minier, but nobody can advance as it's backed up by the shortstop. So 1 ball, no strike. Hit in the air, center field, going back, and looking up, it's gone. A 3-run home run for Brittany Polakis, her second home run of the year, and the Gothic Knight lead grows to 11-1. The center fielder Graciano took a turn, and she knew right away that one was leaving the yard. 200 feet to straightaway center, and it cleared the fence easily. That is RBIs 15, 16, and 17 by Brittany Polakis, who's putting together a tremendous March.
Now batting the catcher number 2, Hannah Gavin.
So Hannah Gavin will step to the plate, which are suddenly empty after Polakis deposited her teammates back into the dugout with a 3-run home run. 17 of NJCU's RBIs in a year off the bat of Brittany Polakis just in Game 13 this year, having a tremendous season. And that's fouled off by Gavin. That bounces in front of home plate. 1-1. Polakis, asked me recently what the single season records were for both doubles, home runs, and RBIs, as she wants to try to set some personal goals to add a little more motivation. That's a ground ball back to the circle, and the pitcher, Bravo, throws to first in time for the 1-3 putout. So now 2 away as Gavin is retired for the first time after being 2 for 2 today, and that will bring up the pitcher Vega 0 for 1 with a walk.
Now batting the pitcher number 7, Jayla Lee Vega.
Vega, again, 4-1 on the mound this year. Her average is .231 at the plate, and I'd like to see her string a few hits together to slowly bring that average up. As we've talked about early on in a long season, every at-bat valuable can add somewhere between 10 and 15 points to your average. That's inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. That's a ground ball, slowly hit the third. Minier with the throw to first. Snow cone, and she's out at first to end the inning. Snow cone there by Galan, and nearly slipped out of her glove. She's able to squeeze it just enough to retire Vega. But in the third inning for the Gothic Knights, they score 5 yet again. Their second 5-run inning in the first 3 today. 3 hits, and nobody left. It's 11-1 NJCU through 3 innings. Top of the 4th inning, and Lehman down by 10 will look to start trying to rally here as Laura, the left fielder, will step to the plate hitting 125. She reached on an error and scored the only run. That came in the 2nd inning. Game now is 56 minutes old, and if we can get this one over in the next 30 minutes, we'll have a chance for a full game too. That is off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. That is a called strike by Vega. Vega's stats coming in 4-1, 6 appearances, 5 starts, 2 complete games, including 1 shared shutout, and a 2.39 ERA, just a 2.57 opposing batting average. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Vega with 24 strikeouts and 14 walks in 26 and a third innings entering action today. That's high. Vega struck out 10 batters against Yeshiva last week. That was the most by a Gothic Knight pitcher in 3 years. The 3-2, and that's outside for ball 4. So second walk given up by Vega. And I'll bring up Galan. Zaire Galan steps to the plate. Vega with so far 3 innings allowed just 1 unearned run with a hit, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Very good start for her. Swing and a miss. Galan is 0 for 1 today. She does not have a hit on the season. The 0-1. Popped in the air. Foul. Paulkis going to give it a look, but it's out of play. Good camera work there by Alyssa McGee. And it's 0-2. Tyler Krichkowski on the PA and the scoreboard today from the men's soccer team. Alyssa McGee on the camera from women's volleyball. Swing and a miss at a pitch down and low as Vega gets Galan to chase for her 3rd strikeout. So 1 away, and that will bring up the new second baseman, Paulino. Paulino grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. Genesis Paulino, head of the Bronx. Lehman 1-5 on the year, 0-2 in the Cognac coming in. They've lost their last 4 after a 1-1 start to the season. Slapped down the right field line, and it is a fair ball. Diving was Randall. It landed right on the line. Laura around second on her way to third. After hesitating, she stopped. The throw by Paulkis not going to be in time. And just in time, Paulino with the triple down the right field line. Laura was able to score. And it is now an 11-2 game as her hesitation does not come back to bite Lehman. Paulkis had a chance to get her at the plate, but the throw was a little bit offline. So that will bring up the pitcher. Well, it should have been the pitcher, Bravo, but apparently they have inserted the flex player after the fact, so we are going to have to make a change.
Now batting number 1, Crystal Contreras.
So Contreras did stay in the game and became the flex player. That made 24 Bravo will not bat. All right, we're going to have to check this out. We'll be right back, folks, as we're going to keep the video on. Bottom of the fourth inning, it's 11-2. The last inning ended on a double play. Ground ball, pitcher to first, and then Paulicus threw home to retire the runner who inexcusably tried to go home on a ground ball where she had no chance. So, after we got the lineup switches squared away, something that was not reported to us, Contreras actually stayed in the game and Parra came out. So Contreras, the right fielder, and that meant that Bravo was batting. The 1-2 grounded to short, and the 6-3 will retire Moyeno. Now we'll bring up Squio, the left fielder.
Now batting the left fielder.
Squio tripled and eventually scored to lead off the third inning. She has scored twice today. She's also walked. That is fouled. When there's 6 or 7 defensive changes and they're not all communicated to you, sometimes that can lead to some problems, but they have been squared away, and Squio hits it down the right field line. It's going to be foul into the corner. So let that be a lesson to you folks at home. Good communication is key. Only you can prevent forest fires. 0-2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Gothic Knights just need to get through this inning in the top of the fifth, and they will have their 8th win of the year. That's called strike 3 as Squio looks at a pitch down and in at the knees. So she goes down on strikes after starting the game with 2 times reaching base, and that will bring up with 2 away the designated player, Christina Otero, who had an RBI single in her last at bat in the third inning. The first pitch gets away from the new catcher, Nieves. That is a called strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Otero with Garcia on deck. Gothic Knights with 7 hits, 11 runs. They've committed 3 errors. Lehman with just 2 hits. Popped in the air. Shallow right field. Coming on and not able to make the catch is Contreras. And it looked like Otero might be hurt. She limped into first base. And I think she might have actually got hit by the relay throw from Contreras. Contreras may have actually stepped in a divot in right field. So there'll be a pinch runner here. It'll be Desiree Johnson coming in the pinch run for Otero.
Pinch running, number 16, Desiree Johnson.
So a single down the right field line for Otero. And a pinch runner here will be Desiree Johnson.
Now batting the center fielder, number 6.
And I'll bring up Talia Garcia. Ground ball through the left side of the infield for a base hit as Resto tried to track it down backhanded, but Johnson the second, and with 2 away, it'll be back to the top of the order for Jazz Randall. Jazz Randall has reached base twice. She has scored twice, a single and a hit by pitch. She also struck out. That is high, gets past the catcher, and everyone advances on the wild pitch. Gothic Knight baseball at Drew. They are in the top of the 7th, a 4-4 game there. Baseball looking for its 9th win of the year. Softball wins twice today. They would also have 9 wins. Great start to the year for both teams as we're playing in the last 2 weeks of March now. And the hope is that they can keep it going once we get into conference play in early April. Hit in the air. Center field, Randall. And it's off of the wall. 2 runs will score. Johnson scores. Garcia scores. Randall with her speed will be at third base standing with a triple. Randall missed that home run by maybe 3 feet. So she hits a triple off of the middle of the center field fence to drive in 2 runs, and it's now 13-2 NJCU. So Gabby Conti will bat with a runner in third. First pitch is fouled away. Conti today is 0 for 2 with a RBI ground out, a walk, and a run scored. 13 runs, 10 hits for the Gothic Knights. That is low, 1-1. That's the second triple of the game for the Gothic Knights, who have 4 extra base hits out of their 10 total. The 1-1 is low. Randall's 2 for 3 today with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Pollock is with the 3-run home run and 2 runs scored. Gavin has 2 hits. Otero has 2 hits. The 2-1, that's grounded to first, right to Gallant. She steps on the bag to end the inning. But not before a 2-run triple by Jazz Randall adds 2 more runs to the Gothic Knight tally. Conti's out 3 unassisted, and in the 4th inning for NJCU, 2 runs, 3 hits. 1 left on. We head to the top of the 5th. The Gothic Knights looking to 8-run the Lightning. Top of the 5th inning here in Jersey City, and the Gothic Knights looking to end it here. They lead by 11, so Lehman would need to score 4 times, or this one is over. Just 2 hits for the Lightning. They'll face a new pitcher in Melissa Mendoza, who's had a very good start to the year, the sophomore right-hander from Union City. After returning to the team after missing last year, she's got an 0-1 record, 5 appearances in relief, 1 start. She got a 0.00 ERA. 9.2 innings. She's allowed 5 runs, none were earned, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, a .225 opposing batting average. Check swing, and that's a called strike. Final line today for Vega, 4 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 hits, struck out 3, walked 2 against 17 batters faced, 62 pitches thrown. And Mendoza comes with some heat there. And it's 0-2. To the pitcher, Bravo. Swing and a miss. She's gone on strikes. 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Graciano, the center fielder, will come to the plate. She's 0 for 2 today. Struck out and reached on an error. Ground ball back to the mound. Mendoza knocks it down, throws to first in time for out number 2. And on the 1-3 ground out, Minier, the last hope for Lehman. She's 0 for 1 today with a walk and a strikeout swinging. The Gothic Knights looking for their 5th straight win. Lehman in danger of their 5th straight loss. That's popped in the air. Right field, Randall's there, and the Gothic Knights victorious in Game 1 by a score of 13-2. In the 5th for Lehman, no runs, no hits, nobody left on. Your final in Game 1, 13 runs, 10 hits, and 3 errors for the Gothic Knights. Lehman of 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher for the Gothic Knights is Jayla Vega, her 5th win in 6 decisions, 5-1 on the year. And the Gothic Knights improve to 8-5 overall with one more game coming up against Lehman in about 10 minutes. We're going to keep the camera on live. The audio is going to go dead, and we'll be back for the broadcast after the lineup cards are exchanged. The Gothic Knights win Game 1, 13-2. And welcome back to the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex, Jersey City. Game 2 of our doubleheader after the Gothic Knights took the opener by a 13-2 margin in 5 innings. The Gothic Knights now 8-5 in the year, looking for their 6th straight win, and they now lead this all-time series with Lehman 19-2. We'll get going here at 4:52 for the first pitch, and it'll be Chirini Graciano, the center fielder, will lead off, followed by Natasha Minier, the third baseman. Linda Resso, the shortstop, will be followed by the cleanup hitter and second baseman, Genesis Paulino. Yadi Nieves catches, batting fifth. Karina Laura, the left fielder, hits sixth. Zaire Galan, the first baseman, hits seventh, with Crystal Contreras, the right fielder, batting eighth, and Karen Parra, the DP, in the ninth spot. Megan Bravo will be the pitcher. New pitcher for the Gothic Knights will be Christina Mezzi, the team ace, and a swing and a miss by Graciano, who strikes out on 3 pitches.
Now batting third baseman, number 13, Natasha Minier. Guessing this was the St. Dom connection in high school. Messi Conti.
Minier will step to the plate, foul down the left field line. Here comes Squeal, dives, and she makes the catch. Nice camera work there by Alyssa McGee as Squeal lays out. And she's able to snow cone that one as the Gothic Knights get the FF7.
Now batting the shortstop, number 9, Linda Resto.
That will bring up to shortstop Resto. The lineup here in Game 2, it will be Mezzi throwing to her high school teammate Gabrielle Conti. And Gabrielle Conti, who was the third baseman in the last game, now behind the plate. Hannah Gavin will go to short. Paul Kiss is at first. Otero will play second base in this game. That's high. And Gavin, the shortstop, means Jayla Lee Vega will play third. Squio, Garcia, Randall, the constant outfield in this one. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
Is that always our outfield?
Mezzi deals inside, but it's ball 2. It's 2-1. Looking at the numbers on the year for Mezzi, she is 3-3 with a 3.00 ERA. Our start number 7, her 9th appearance. Got 1 complete game shutout and 1 shared shutout. Pop fly. Giving a look will be Conti, but it's going to be off the screen. And it will be a 2-2 count. Also for Mezzi, 35 innings. Struck out 36 batters, so more than 1 strikeout per inning. She's only walked 13. Batting average against is a little high, though, at 303. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's hit towards right field. Randall comes in, reaches down, makes the catch. And the inning comes to a close. A 1-2-3, top of the first. And the Gothic Knights will now bat here in the bottom of the inning. Taking a look at the lineup for NJCU in this one. And the leadoff hitter once again will be Jazz Randall, the right fielder. Christina Otero bats second and plays second with Brittany Polikis, who had a 3-run home run in the last game. She's at first base and batting third. Hannah Gavin back in the cleanup spot. She's the shortstop now. Jayla Lee Vega, the third baseman, bats fifth, with Julie Squio, the left fielder, hitting sixth. Christina Mezzi will pitch and bat seventh. Melissa Mendoza, who threw the final inning of the last game, she'll be the DP and hit eighth, with Talia Garcia, the center fielder, batting ninth. Gabby Conti will not bat in this game. She is the Gothic Knight flex player. Megan Bravo, who came in relief in the last game, will be the starting pitcher in this one, throwing to Yadi Nieves. The first baseman is Galan, with Paulino at second, Resto at short, and Minier at third. In the outfield, it's Laura in left, Graciano in center, and the right fielder in this one is Contreras.
You got, what is it, Zaria? Or your Zaria?
Zar.
Is that how you say it? Zaria?
Home plate umpire in this game, Frank Blosschild. Thomas Burke is the field ump.
No, Chirini. Because I remember it was like Chirini, but with that.
Chirini.
Gothic Knight baseball team leading 6-4 in Madison. That is in the 7th inning. Andrew Nish just keeps hitting home runs. Third consecutive day he's had one leave the yard. His third of the year. He's just putting up numbers this year that if they stay on this pace will never be broken. He's already got 25 hits through just 12 games.
Leading off the right fielder, number 3, Jazz Randall.
Baseball now leading 7-4, top of the 8th. On its way, hopefully, to another win. It would be the 9th of the year. Randall swings at the first pitch right through the legs of the third baseman. So Randall reaches on an E5 fielding error, and that will bring up Otero, the second baseman.
Now batting the second baseman, number 22, Christina Otero.
That's an example right there that you don't have to touch the ball for there to be an error, and that went right through the legs of Minier. Otero swings, and the shortstop, Resto, as she started towards second base to cover the bag, had to try to change direction, could not do so. It'll be an infield single for Otero, and Randall will head to second. And, quite frankly, the error that started the inning contributed to that, because without the error, Randall would not be going to second, and they wouldn't have needed to cover second. That would bring up Brittany Polakis. In the last game, all she did was hit a home run. Randall goes to third. She will steal, as Otero will follow her as well. So we'll credit a double steal. Otero started after Randall kind of waited to see if there would be a throw, but she had already taken enough of a lead where we'll give her a steal as well. And that brings up Polakis. Hits it down the right field line. It is in foul territory. Falls out of the reach of Contreras. Long foul ball by Polakis, who was looking for an extra base hit. Looks like it's raining over the bay, but it's probably just fog. Very cloudy game now. 1-1. Ground ball. Third baseman, Minier, will throw to first. And she came off the bag. So that is going to be an error on the first baseman for coming off the bag. Couldn't keep her foot on. So an E3.
Batting the shortstop, number 2, Hannah Gavin.
And we're going to give an assist to the third baseman. RBI for Polakis. And that'll bring up Gavin. There goes Polakis. No throw because Otero would have probably come home. The run, by the way, is not earned by Randall, as she reached on the error. On the first pitch, or second pitch, I should say, it's going to fall in for a single. And here comes Otero. She scores, and everyone advances. So Gavin will single to left. Polakis heads to third. Otero scores. Gavin will go to second on the throw. So Gavin's on second. Polakis is at first. Nobody out. That's inside to Vega. And now it's 3-0. Three balls, no strikes to the Gothic Knight third baseman, Vega. It's 2-0 already NJCU here in the bottom of the first. That's called strike. Late call there by the umpire, Blosschild. So it'll be 3-1 here to Vega. Ground ball down the third base line. That's going to drive in Paulkus. Here comes Gavin. The throw to the plate is not in time. She reached down with her left hand to tag the base. It got away from the catcher, and advancing all the way down to third is going to be Vega. And that will bring up Julie Squio, and as a foul ball.
Did you announce her?
Yes.
Oops.
Cunty.
It's getting dark. It's only 6.
Yeah, it's cloudy cheese, that's why.
That's cheese.
And Squio hits that one towards left field. That's going to be a base hit.
Creepy.
That will score Vega, and it scores now 5-0. The Gotham Knights, for the second game in a row, put up a 5 spot.
Squeal's out. She left too early. Oh, I missed that one again.
Squio is called out at first for leaving early. So runner left early, 3 unassisted if you're scoring. And Christina Mezzi now at the plate. And 1 ball and 1 strike. So 5-0 on 4 hits and 3 errors. Swing and a miss. And 1-2 here to Mezzi. Ground ball to short. Resto's there. Throw to first is in time, and the inning comes to a close after the 6-3 ground out, but not before. Actually, that's only 2 outs. That's only 2 outs as the runner left early was actually the first out of the inning by Squio. So 2 away,
Designated player number 15,
and we'll bring up Mendoza, the DP.
You getting more confident now? Now you don't have to say Conti.
So Mendoza will bat for the first time today. I got fooled there. I thought there was already 2 outs. That is just the second out. Ground ball. Pitcher can't backhand it. Resto is there, however, and she's able to make the play. And now the inning is over. So a 6-3 ground out by Mendoza. 5 runs for the Gothic Knights in the first inning on 4 hits. There were 3 errors. Nobody left. It's 5-0 NJCU after 1 inning. Back here for the second inning, and the Gothic Knights with a 5-0 lead, and the batter will be the second baseman, Genesis Paulino. First pitch was a ball, and she looks at that one for strike one. As a strike as well. So 1-2 here as Mezzi facing the fourth batter in the Lehman lineup. After going 1-2-3 in the last. And swing and a miss. Paulino goes down on strike. Second strikeout for Mezzi.
She pitches a lot faster.
21.
She's also consistent.
And we'll bring up the catcher, Nieves.
Now batting the catcher, number 21, Yadi Nieves.
Nieves pops it foul.
She's a lot faster.
No balls and one strike, and that is on the inside corner, and they're going to call it a strike there. Another delayed call. We can't hear the umpire, so we have to wait for him to actual signal unless it's obvious. 0-2 here to Nieves. That's inside. Lehman had just 2 hits in game 1. The 1-2, and that's high. Mezzi is a freshman, the ace of the staff already. Very promising career ahead of her, a former first team all Hudson County selection. 2-2, Mezzi deals, popped in the air, and a little miscommunication there as they smile at each other, but it's Vega who makes the catch in front of Gavin, calling off her shortstop at the last minute. Now we'll bring up the left fielder, Laura,
Left fielder, number 8, Karina Laura.
who's hitting now 125 on the year. Swing and a miss. That's high from Mezzi. It's now 1-1. Mezzi had a great outing against Brooklyn last week. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. Gothic Knight Baseball has opened a lead now to 10-4. Swing and a miss there on Laura, and it's 1-2. Mezzi trying for another 1-2-3 inning. Strike 3 looking, and she does indeed accomplish that with her second strikeout of the frame and her third of the game. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It's 5-0 Gothic Knights. We talked about the great week that Mezzi had last week. She went 2-0, 2.00 ERA, 15 strikeouts, just 1 walk in 7.0 innings. She allowed just 2 runs and 5 hits in 7 innings last week, a 185 opposing batting average, including a shared shutout. In a 16-2 win over Yeshiva as Garcia fouls off the first pitch. Mezzi struck out 7 with 1 walk, allowing 2 runs and 4 hits. Then in a 18-0 5-inning win against Brooklyn, she struck out 8, walked none, and threw 4 innings of 1-hit softball, contributing 3 RBIs at the plate. But in the circle, she was masterful, 4 innings, allowed 1 hit, just a 2-out single in the third. She struck out 8, as we said, and faced just 1 batter over the minimum. And Mezzi already with a great start today. 2-1 here to Talia Garcia. She'll be followed in the lineup by Jazz Randall as we head back to the top of the order. Slow roller picked up by the pitcher Bravo. Throws on to first for out number 1. It'll be Jazz Randall, the Gothic Knight right fielder who reached on an error and scored in the first inning.
Now batting the right fielder, number 3, Jazz Randall.
Randall average at .346 on the season. Shows bunt. Gets past the catcher. Of course, no wild pitch if there's nobody on base, or no pass ball in that situation. As a hitter right in the glove. After this weekend off, the softball team home again on Tuesday against Baruch. Two-strike count here to Randall. That's hit towards left center field, going to fall in for a base hit. Randall takes a wide turn at first. She'll settle for a 1-out base hit as the Gothic Knights have their 5th hit of the game. That will bring up the second baseman, Christina Otero. 1 for 1 today with an RBI single, or not an RBI single, but a single and run scored. She was eventually knocked in by Polikis. That's fouled off. We will bring you the action on Tuesday. However, the action for Wednesday and Thursday is to be determined, as I may not be here. I have jury duty.
I'll do it.
There goes Randall. Ground ball to second. Randall
Double play.
left early, so she's going to be called for the double play, and then a 6-3 ground out as Otero is retired. I don't think Randall left early there. But that is going to indeed be the standing call. Otero is retired. 6-3. And Randall's out. Runner left early, 3 unassisted. So in the second inning for the Gothic Knights, 1 hit, nobody left on. We head to the third. It's 5-0 NJCU. Lehman will come to the plate here in the top of the third. They are 1-6 on the season now. Taking a look at their results on the year, they split doubleheader against Yeshiva on March 13th. They lost 10-5. They won 13-2. They were swept by Hunter 14-0 and 9-0. First pitch by Mezzi is a strike. Lost to Cedar Crest 19-1 and 18-1. So they've struggled of late. Swing and a miss. They haven't scored more than 2 runs in a game since that opening doubleheader against Yeshiva. The 0-2 pitch by Mezzi. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Mezzi. So Galan, who was a leadoff hitter, goes down and strikes. And Mezzi has now struck out 3 of the last 4 batters. That will bring up the right fielder Contreras for the first time. That's a slider on the outside corner for strike 1. Nice movement on that pitch there by Mez. Swing and a miss. That slider off the plate and high, and it's 0-2. Tyler Krichkowski, after realizing that Christina Mezzi has a great nickname in Mez, wants his own nickname. So his nickname, Tyler Krichkowski, will be TK from now until the end of eternity. That's fouled away, and it remains 0-2. We can call you T-Cry. How do you like that? He's joking over there. No balls, 2 strikes with 1 away. And the 0-2. Ground ball, foul. To the left of third. You okay over there? There's no athletic training services for the PA announcer, Tyler. No balls, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. Ground ball, and it's going to die in foul territory on the first base line. You'll have to take our word for it. We can't really cut this pole down. So it'll remain 0-2. Top of the 3rd inning. It's 5-0 Gothic Knights. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 3rd. Mezzi has now struck out 3 in a row. 5 in the game and 4 of our last 5 batters. And that will bring up Para.
Now batting the designated player, number 2, Karen Para.
I'll bring up Para, and the first pitch to her is ball 1. Mez looking for yet another 1-2-3 inning. As he called strike, 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch. That's inside, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Ground ball foul. Alyssa McGee from the volleyball team, who's doing the camera in this game, is going to be in Denver next week for a student government leadership conference. But what she hasn't told us all, she's actually going to be trying to hunt down Peyton Manning, convince him to come back. That is low. It's ball 3, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. That swing and a miss. She strikes out the side. Christina Mezzi, 1, 2, 3 consecutive batters struck out swinging. 4 batters struck out in a row. She's been incredible so far through 3. We head to the 4th. In the 3rd inning for Lehman. In the 3rd inning, Christina Mezzi strikes out the side. We head to the 4th. Brittany Polkus will step to the plate in the bottom of the third. 5-0. Hits in the air to deep center field, and it's going to bounce off the wall on 2 hops. Polkus on her way to second base. She slowed down. She actually was waiting for the throw and was able to slide in safely just ahead of the play at second. The throw by Graciano was wide of the bag. So we're going to be a double to center.
Batting the shortstop, number 2, Hannah Gavin.
Graciano did get in fairly quickly, but it was to the right of second base, so it didn't give the infield a chance there. Gavin hits in the air to center field. Graciano reaches up. She makes the catch. Polkus will tag and advances on the flyout.
Now batting the third baseman.
So Vega
Jayla Lee Vega
will come to the plate. She had a double in her last plate appearance, and that is high. A good throw to second probably would have had Polkus. And she kind of hesitated halfway between first and second as that ball was played back in. Vega hits it down the line and foul. So 1 ball and 1 strike as NJCU women's bowling coach Rel Smith joins us in the box. Vega hits in the air to shallow right center. It's going to fall in for an RBI single. Polkus will score, and the Gothic Knight lead now 6-0. Vega with her second hit of the game, and the Gothic Knights have 2 RBIs off her bat today.
Now batting the left fielder, number 12, Julie Squio.
That will bring up the left fielder, Julie Squio, who had an RBI single in the first inning. Swings and misses at that pitch. And Vega with a big jump off first, had to go back. Gothic Knights would like to end this through 5 yet again. They need 2 runs to do so. Squio nearly got hit there. You can see her reaction. That's a great shot right there. Julie Smiling Squio was not smiling there. The 1-1, that's high. And Squio hits that towards right center, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Vega around second, on her way to third. She's being sent. Here comes the throw. It will not be in time, and it's high anyway. Vega scores. It's dropped by the catcher, and that will allow Squio to advance on the muffed play at the plate. So credit Squio with a double to right center and an RBI, and she advances on the E2 muff, and Vega scores to make it 7-0. And that will bring up the pitcher, Mezzi, pops in the air, shallow right, going to be a tough play, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Squio will score, and it's 8-0, the requisite score to end the game through 5. Squio's run currently is unearned. It could change depending on the next batter. 1 RBI for Mez. Gothic Knights, their 9th hit of the game, and their 4th hit of this inning. Their 3rd in a row. And the first pitch to Mendoza, who grounded out to end the first inning 6-3, is a called strike. Swing and a miss at a pitch down and in. And it's 0-2 here to Mendoza. 1 out here, bottom of the 3rd. It's 8-0 Gothic Knights, looking for their 9th win of the year. They had just 5 each of the last 2. And that's in the air. Center field, Graciano's there. She makes the catch for out number 2. And that will bring up Talia Garcia, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. Grounded out to the pitcher that opened the 2nd inning. Lehman, a member of the Kuniak Conference. That popped in the air. And it's going to fall over the head of the second baseman. Going to fall in for a hit. However, the throw to third is airmailed. And advancing on the error and scoring will be Mezzi. Bad throw by the center fielder. Did that hit somebody, guys? Good. That's why you wear a helmet as a base runner. Mezzi actually got hit by that throw. So Garcia, credit her on a first pitch single that fell in.
Now batting the right fielder, number 3.
And she advances on an error. Mezzi goes to second. And she will score on the E8 throwing error. No RBIs there. And Mezzi's run is currently not earned. However, what that does do is it goes back and makes Squio's run earned, as she would have scored on the single. And we'll bring up Jazz Randall. Randall, after she fouled off the first pitch. That's now 1-1 to the Gothic Knight leadoff hitter, who is 1 for 2 today. She scored a run in the first, reaching on an error. She also has a single, and that's slowly hit towards the pitcher. Bravo will throw to first in time, and the inning comes to a close. However, the Gothic Knights add 4 more on 5 hits, aided by 2 Lehman errors and 1 left on. We've played 3 innings in Game 2. It's 9-0 Gothic Knights. Christina Mezzi back to work. We'll be in the top of the 4th inning, and it'll be the center fielder, number 3, Chirini Graciano, to lead off for Lehman. And that's low. Swing and a miss.
Batting the center fielder, number 3, Chirini Graciano.
The 1-1 pitch. It's called strike, and it's 1-2. So 1-2 to Graciano. Mezzi looking for her 5th consecutive strikeout. The 1-2 gets her. 5th straight K, 4th in a row struck out swinging. She has now struck out 6 of the last 7 batters. And she has 7 Ks in the game. It'll bring up the third baseman, Minier. Mezzi is mowing him down. Swing and a miss. And it's strike 1 to Minier. The hitting average now at 0.67 on the year. No balls and 1 strike. That's high. That's low. Oh, they called a strike. Late call there by Frank, who faked us out. And it's 1-2. One out here in the fourth. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Fifth straight strikeout swinging. Sixth straight strikeout altogether. She has 8 Ks in 4 innings, and we still have another batter to go, and it'll be the shortstop, Resto. They just have no answer for Mezzi right now. The Gothic Knight ace is looking like one right now. The 0-1. Check swing. And she didn't go. It'll be 1-1. Gothic Knights need Mezzi to do well as they head into NJAC play next week. She's going to get the ball quite a bit as a rookie. It's called strike right down the middle. 1-2 as she looks to strike out the side for the second consecutive inning. The 1-2 popped in the air, foul, and we'll do it again. Mezzi's only thrown 49 pitches. 37 of them are strikes right now. Starting to get a little chilly out there. The 1-2. That's high. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mezzi with 8 strikeouts in the game. The 2-2. That's high, and it's 3-2. The full count pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. She strikes out the side again. Back-to-back innings, striking out the side, every batter swinging. She has struck out 7 in a row and 9 in the game. She is perfect through 4. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, 9-0 Gothic Knights. Back here in the bottom of the 4th, and it'll be Otero, Polikis, and Gavin. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up, and first pitch to Otero is ball 1. Looking at a little history potentially here for Mezzi, and you don't like to talk about it until you get through the 4 innings. And we are at that point now, so we can discuss it. The last no-hitter for the Gothic Knights, and they've thrown 7 in their history, was by Andrea Della Crasia against Brooklyn, a 12-0 win on March 20th, 2009. NJCU has thrown, as that's a call strike to Otero, 2 perfect games in its history in back-to-back days by Karen Masters, who's the only softball Hall of Famer, March 22nd and March 23rd of 2000 against Staten Island and John Jay. That's hit right back to the pitcher. Otero's going to be retired 1-3, but she almost beat it out. So one away, and that will bring up Paulicus. So that is what Mezzi is looking to do right now. She's looking for the third perfect game in school history and the 8th no-hitter, which would put her in pretty good company already as a freshman. Paulicus hits it down the right field line foul, and not able to get there in time was Contreras. Masters' 2 perfect games were both as a junior. So the 0-1 pitch inside nearly hit Paulicus. It's 1-1. That's inside. That's off the plate, 3-1. So 3-1 to Paulicus, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. The 3-1, swing and a miss, and it's even at 3-2. Take a look at the offensive numbers. Oh boy, the baseball game in Madison's getting a little too close for comfort. And that's lined towards center field. That's going to be a base hit. The center fielder couldn't play it cleanly. Paulicus is going to try to advance and will, as she's able to rip a double past the center fielder. The center fielder, Graciano, couldn't really get in front of it, so we can't really call that an error in center field. So we'll call it a double to center. And then Gavin steps to the plate and hits it towards left center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Gavin on her way to second. She's there with a double. Paulicus scores, and it's 10-0 Gothic Knights. On the RBI double, back-to-back doubles by Paulicus and Gavin. This is a dangerous combination.
Now batting the third baseman, number 7, Jayla Lee Vega.
The bases are loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. NJCU leads Drew 10-8. It was 10-4. Going to the bottom of the 9th. Drew has scored 4 times. Corey Nace is now on to try to get a save. 1 out. Checking on that one in a second. Vega, the batter. 2 balls. That gets away from the catcher. There goes Gavin, and she is safe. On the pass ball. We'll call it a wild pitch. And that's hit right back to the pitcher to throw back to third, and getting back in safely is Gavin on the line out. We're going to score that a wild pitch with Gavin advancing to third because it was in the dirt. We're going to be fair to the catcher here. Probably should have blocked it, but so a line out. And Squillo hits in the air to right center, and that's going to fall in for a double off of the base of the wall as she will get into second base standing. That scores Gavin. It's 11-0.
Now batting the pitcher, number 11, Christina Mezzi.
10-9, 2 outs.
Drew has scored, and it's 10-9 in the bottom of the 9th. 2 outs. We're going to keep an eye on that one as some drama's developing in Madison. Meanwhile, it's 11-0 here, and Christina Mezzi is the batter. And she has a 2-strike count, and she will head back to the field in a moment with a chance for some history. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So Mezzi goes down on strikes, and the inning comes to a close, but not before the Gothic Knights score 2 more runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the top of the 5th. Christina Mezzi looking to join history here in Gothic Knights softball lore, looking for the second pitcher ever to throw a perfect game, and the first in 16 years. We'll be right back. So here's where we are. Top of the 5th inning. It's 11-0 Gothic Knights. Lehman has had 12 batters come to the plate, and Christina Mezzi has retired all 12 with 9 strikeouts, 8 of which have been swinging, 7 strikeouts in a row, 6 of them are swinging. She's looking for the first no-hitter since 2009, and that will not happen today, as the first pitch of the 5th inning is lined over the head of the second baseman Otero and into right field for a leadoff double. But Christina Mezzi was fantastic through the first 4. That will bring up Nieves, the catcher. Pollock is looking at her pitcher. Mezzi knows that she had a chance there. She's smiling. It won't happen today. The perfect game and the no-hitter broken up on 1 swing to open the 5th. That's popped in the air, foul, and out of play. So, however, the Gothic Knights still on pace to win this one and win 11-0. If they can get through this inning, a shutout would be fantastic. Polakis, Randall giving chase. Randall cannot get there. Polakis grabs her teammate to prevent her from running into the side fencing. Baseball, it's 10-9. Bottom of the 9th in Madison. Tying run is at second base. Corey Nace, who works for us during the soccer season, he is on the mound trying for the save. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip. "56 pitches by Mezzi. 42 have been strikes. Swing and a miss. And that is strikeout number 10. I will bring up the left fielder, Laura. And first pitch is a swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. That's low. So far, 10 strikeouts, no walks, just 1 hit, 57 pitches. Swing! And a miss. 11th strikeout for Mezzi. She has struck out swinging 8 of the last 9 batters with just that double by Paulino, separating her from a perfect game. So it'll be up to Galan, the first baseman who struck out in her only plate appearance. Mezzi is having one of the great games ever for a freshman pitcher at this school. That is fouled off down the right field line. It's going to be foul. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lehman is down to its final strike. That's low. Baseball has hung on and won 10-9 as Corey Nace strikes out the final batter swinging. And that's what Christina Mezzi does, not swinging, but looking as Galan is caught for the final strikeout in the 5th. The 3rd consecutive inning that Christina Mezzi strikes out the side as the Gothic Knights, behind the arm of Christina Mezzi with 12 strikeouts, have defeated Lehman in Game 2 by a score of 11-0 in 5 innings. The Gothic Knights sweep the doubleheader today, 13-2 and 11-0 as Mezzi wins her 4th game of the year. Look at this. She now has 48 strikeouts on the year in 39.2 innings. Incredible season so far by who was arguably the best pitcher in Hudson County last year, and a great recruit for the Gothic Knights, as she today just too much for the Lehman lineup. Let's take a look at the final today for NJCU. 11 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Lehman, no runs, 1 hit, and 5 errors. And the line for Mezzi officially 5 innings, 1 hit, 12 strikeouts, no walks on 65 pitches. So the Gothic Knights, they improve to 9-5, one of the best starts they've had in recent history. Lehman drops to 1-7. Our next broadcast of Gothic Knights softball will be on Tuesday as the Gothic Knights at 4 p.m. will host the Bearcats of Baruch College right here at the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex. We hope everyone has a great holiday weekend, a good Friday, and a happy Easter with their families. We'll be back in the air on Tuesday for that broadcast of Gothic Knights softball. For everyone at NJCU Athletics, I'm Ira Thor. Thanks for watching today's doubleheader as the Gothic Knights win 2 and improve to 9-5 on the year. Good night, everyone.